Evening everyone. Like always, we're just waiting for the computer to click in. Just takes a few seconds and then we will be with you. There we go. Keep my voice quiet on the computer so there's no double echo. And there we go. Well, evening everyone. Welcome to Babsy's Card Making and Crafting. Hello Jenny, lovely to see you. As posted up, we're going to have a whale of a time. I'm Babsy and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today we are bringing you the stamp set Whale Done and the DSPs. Lovely play on words there. The stamp set here consists of some lovely stamps and some quite quirky sentiments as well. Hoping all your birthday fishes come true and you're kind of a big deal. My love for you is bigger than the ocean, and whale done, and thanks a ton. Yes, and lovely sentiments there, a bit quirky. But also what we'll be using today are these beautiful, beautiful DSPs, and this is really the focal point of the card. DSP is designer series paper, and all it means is that they're patterned paper. And at the moment there is 15% off these lovely papers, and if you'd like to get your hands on these, just message me and we can do that for you. So let's go through them. Some of them are quite pictorial, so this one here, you can actually cut this in half or trim it down, and then you've got the base like an ocean bed. It's gorgeous, that one. And this one is all jellyfish, all different colours. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. And that's lots of whales on the back of that one. And this one's sort of what are they called? Like different bits of seaweed. Very, very fine seaweed, that one. And then we've got a different page of whales, but these have got little fishes in. The back of that one, oh, look at that. It's all whichever way round you want it. Waves of the sea, lovely. And this is a shoal of fish. Gorgeous colours on there. And a gorgeous coral calypso-like print. And then we've got lots and lots of seaweed. All different colours. Gorgeous. And then lots of fishes again with this filigree seaweed. And that's some more fishes. Not quite sure what colour that would be. Oh, hello Carol. Thank you for joining me. That's really nice of you. Yeah, the seahorses are cute. I love that one. Not quite sure of the colour of that one. It's not coming to mind. Perhaps it's just jade. Yeah, maybe just jade. And that one again is a proper pictorial with the seabed with all the coral and the seaweed. And this one here, gorgeous. I love this one. This is the one we're actually using today. And you can see this lovely beam of light coming through. It's got so many colours in that. Blackberry Bliss here. I don't use that colour often enough. It's really a lovely one, that one. And one of our new in colours. I think this is Cinnamon Cider. And they're the lovely seahorses again. Gorgeous. And you've got what green waves on the back of that one. What was on the back of that one? Oh, there we go. That one is Bumblebee. Shoal of fish of Bumblebee. And here's one of my favourite, the gorgeous turtles. Now, I don't know which way you want this one round. They're either going up and round. Oh, no, you can't really have it that way. Upside down swimming turtles. Yeah, just jade. I thought it was. There we go. And there's lots of greens there. and some more. This is a collage of everyone. You've got whales and seahorses, even some crabs, turtles obviously, and jellyfish. Lovely one, that one. And here is the one with the crabs in, with just the, and shellfish and just the seaweed. And there we are with the lovely turtles again. So gorgeous, gorgeous papers. That's a lovely corally one there. Lovely blues. So there's lots and lots to choose from. So if you're up for a pack, please message me and we can do that for you. Right, let's get to the fun fold. We've got a fun fold today and we've got a fun fold on Friday. It's a fun fold week. Right, I love this one because it's a take on the Z fold, but it's still using the C6 cardstock. So it's just half of an A4, and then all you need to do is just to score this little bit and fold it back on itself. So dimensions, this is half an A4, so you've got your A4 sheet here. You cut 5 7/8, which gives you 2 pieces, and score at 4 1/8, and that gives you the card. And then this bit here, I'm just looking at my notes, is 1 1/4 inches, and that's folded back on itself. Right, I said we were going to use the picture that looks like all the mushrooms on, and here it is. So all I've done is to cut off the top. So this is 5 5/8. Cut off the top, and then this first panel is, I'm just looking at my crib notes, I'm sorry, haven't got these in my head yet. This one's 2 1/4, this one is 1 1/2, and then that one is 2. That doesn't look 1 1/2 to me. Sure, it should be. Yeah, it sure is 1 1/2. So do that again. That is 2 1/4, 1 1/2, and 2 inches. Okay, so that's the DSP. And we might as well stick it down. Oh, I tell you what I haven't got. Thinking of that, I haven't got a piece of Whisper White for the inside of the card. Just bear with me 1 second. Here we go. We'll trim that down when we need it. Right, so we need to keep these in order, because what we're trying to do is to form a picture in our card. So what we want to do is just to take the first piece, and we're going to layer it on top here. Obviously only sticking it on this side. Should we open that? Obviously only sticking it on this side because that's the fold. And then we're just going to leave a border, a little bit of a border around, so it goes on there like that. And I'll show you how it all sticks together, how it all comes together in a moment when we've got all the DSP down. So this is the first bit. Oh, what did I say to you? What did I say to you? Only on the corner, Barbara. You only need to stick the corner, and she goes and sticks it all down. Let's take the glue off. This is my sponge for gluing. Let's have another go at this. Make sure I stick it properly this time. There we go. Yes, they are, Jenny. Our designers are so talented. They are a real lovely bunch of people who give us the most amazing products. And there we go. Right, so we've only adhered this on this little bit here, and I can think you can see how this is going to go. Right, before we put the next bit down, because this bit should go here, what we are going to do is to put this piece down. Oops, oh, that's got stuck. See, this piece should go in here, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to do this one. So this is being stuck on the inside back piece. Does that make sense? Sounded double Dutch when I said it. There we go. So lots of glue. Well, not that much glue. There we go. So, leaving that border again, try and be consistent with the borders because it does make it look a bit better that way. There we go. So that's that. And now I can measure up for the piece of white. I'll do that now so that I don't miss it. So that's 2 inches, and we're taking off 1/4 inch for the edges. So we want it at 5 5/8. So that's 5 5/8. And then we want it at 1 3/4. 1 3/4. So just pop that up there for now. Oh, golly gee, that looks too small. I mean, too big. Let's try the other bit. Yep, I might trim a little bit off of that. I think I might have slipped that a little bit. So let's go for there. Just a tad. Perhaps it's because it's white. Perhaps it's a bit more stark, so it looks at... That's a bit better. Perhaps because it's white. I don't know. Oh dear. The pattern paper looks fine, but then when you've got a piece of white there, it does look like there's a gaping hole there. Right, so that's down, and you can write your message in there, and hopefully that should shut right over the message, so you can't actually see it. Oh, let's see if we can move that down. Just, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I do beg your pardon, that's my phone clicking off. See if we can move it up a bit. It's not quite down yet. There we go. Now it is. Right, the only reason I did it in that order, Jenny, was because we have something else to put on the card, and I didn't want to do that first before sorting out the sentiment. I wanted to get this bit done first. That's the only reason. Jenny was asking why she was interested to know why I did it in that order. It's just that we've got this little bit of ribbon to go on the front of the card. So I'm not even sure that I want to put the ribbon on. So I'm going to assemble most of the card and then come back to the ribbon at the end and then see whether it actually needs it. So you can see where this card is going now. So this piece will eventually be in here. So when the card is standing up on the shelf, you will see the picture going right across the card. It's really interesting, isn't it? And this little bit is just left blank. Or you could quite happily stamp that or fill it in with die cuts or just make it a little bit prettier. I just prefer it plain because it makes the rest of the card stand out. So that's where that bit's going to end up. There's a few little bits we want to do before we finish that. So that's the base of the card there. And now I have a sentiment back, which I am going to choose from the cinnamon cider or the old olive, and I haven't quite made up my mind which I want, because I like both and I'm not sure which one would go. I like this one because it brings in the greens from here, but I think it's a bit too overpowering. And then this one I like because it brings in the colour from here, and you get to see more of the pattern paper, and that's why I like that one. I have got lots of little die cuts and things. Oh, let's stamp the sentiment first. Now that I am going to do in Shaded Spruce, which is the colour of the card, and it's a real simple one. It just says happy birthday, and it's on my block all crooked. And I'm sure you've seen this many times because I do it quite often with my sentiments. I line it up because nearly always the bottom line on these sentiments, the bottom here of the stamp itself is nearly always straight. It doesn't always happen, but most of them are straight. So what I do is to line that up on the line and then make sure it's straight on my block, so that when you stamp it, you can stamp it on a line, which is what I'll do it up here so you can see. I'll stamp it on a line there, and it's straight. Doesn't mean to say that it's like that every single time, but more often than not it is straight. So I've used my oval scalloped dies for this one and my circle scalloped dies for this one, and then I've just taken a smaller one for the happy birthday in the white. Hello Carol, nice to see you. So we'll stamp that down, and you'll have to forgive me. I will do this twice because then we'll get a real feeling. Oh, I wonder if that is going to fit in twice. Now there's a thing. Are we going to get two in there? Maybe not. Well, we'll try it, see. Ever hopeful me. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to nip away just to put this through my die cut machine, and I'm still using my old Big Shot. And I want a little bit of tape just to hold that die down, because the oval ones are, well, I think it's my my plates. They're prone to jump. Oh, and that's the other thing. I'm using the old base plate as well, where the magnetic base is made up of lots of circles. The new cut and emboss is one straight magnetic plate, so you don't get the jumping of the dies, because what's happening is the dies are trying to they get pulled in different directions because the magnetism is in the different places. But with the new one, it doesn't happen that way, because it's all one solid. Right, I don't quite know what's happened there, but for some reason the ink has blurred. Look at that. It doesn't happen to me. There we go, it did. Right, so what we're going to do is to stamp on the other side, but first of all I just want to just take my bone folder and smooth out those ridges, because when you, as you can see here, when you die cut, it leaves a ridge round the side, which means it's cutting into the paper. So if you turn that over, you can see that there is a ridge here, and it doesn't look very nice when you put that side down onto paper. So that's all I'm doing, is to run the bone fold around that side so it just smooths it out, and then we'll have another go at stamping this. And I shall leave it alone in the corner, and it can dry all of its own. Now I can't see that very well, so I'm going to cut, because I've got two lights up here, and one's that's better. Now hopefully that is straight. I've got no guidelines to this, so it's on a wing and a prayer now. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. That's good, that's good, I like that. Right, so that's that one cut out. I did say I was going to do two, didn't I? Well, I'm going to cut this before I stamp it, just like the other one, because maybe the ink pad's just really, really juicy, and I didn't leave it long enough to dry. But our Stampin' Up ink is normally dries really quickly, and there's normally no trouble. But obviously the gremlins are out tonight, so so let's have another go at this one. Nice and straight on the grid paper, and middle for diddle again. Oh, let's put it back on the card so I can see where I'm going. Oh, I must have it on my hands, because that's done it again, isn't it? I must have it on my hand. It's on my fingernail, look. It's on my fingernail. That's the culprit. Well, I'm going to have to go with this one, because I'm not going to waste time cutting more and more card. Hopefully we only need to use the one. Oh, look, you can't even see it. That's all right then. Right, that's going to go off into the corner so it can dry nicely by itself. Yeah, it must be an extra inky ink pad. Right. So the next bit is I've done all of this beforehand, because you do not want to see me fussy cutting. It's not something that comes really easy to me, so I painstakingly do it sort of inch by inch. So you know, you really don't want me to sitting here and watching me do that. Right, so these are stamps that have come with the stamp set, way all done. This one comes from the dies from Smooth Sailing Dies, and what I've done is I've cut out the die in Old Olive and then put it through a embossing folder, and it's the embossing folder that goes with this stamp set, and I can't remember the name of it. I have lost my piece of paper that tells me what it is. Oh, there it is. It is a Seabed 3D embossing folder. I like to keep my description with my embossing folders, because like the dies, they've all got different names. So that's what I've done there, and that's given the texture to the seaweed. I quite like that. This one has come from a stamp from the Seaside Notions, and I've just stamped that in garden green and fussy cutted. Look at that. Look, be proud of me. All the way in those tiny, tiny bits. And this one too, that's a stamp, as I said, I've stamped that from Whale Done and fussy cutted that, and that one too. And all I've done to get the middle bits out, you may not even need this, is just put the point of my scissors just in there, just a point, and then because you can cut right at the edge of these snips, and that's why they're so good, because they cut right at the edge, you can get your snips right in there and cut out that little diagonal. Now you can tell I'm concentrating because I'm not talking. There we go. It's not brilliant, but I wouldn't have dared do that with any other scissors, I tell you. And just nip out that corner. There we are, and the bottom one as well. So the point just straight through. I've got my finger behind, but if you've got like a pokey mat or something like that, you don't want to pop the put your point of your scissors in your finger. Then you've got a soft mat that you can put it through, or even a couple of tissues or something like that, just so you've got something to push it against, and then you can get that through the card. That's all you need. You just need the point in there, and you can clip away, snip away, and that's why they're called snips. Particularly stubborn piece of card there. There we go, all done. After all of that, we might not even see those little bits, but hey. If it's done now, I won't be fussing with it later. Right, so let's get on. Yeah, we've got a whale to put in there as well. So the next thing to decide is what colour we want. And my thinking was that this is the one I favour, I think, across the middle. And my thought was to have the sentiment, now hopefully that's dry, over the top, like that, and put it up on dimensionals on this side, and then have some of the grasses coming up underneath. I would have this on this side because that's a contrast to the shaded spruce. And I would trim this, I wouldn't have this poking out the bottom. But you get the idea of kind of what I was thinking of. So this is garden green, so that would go off on that side. So something like that. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Or even underneath the white, maybe. I haven't quite made up my mind. I quite like it there, but also I do like it sort of tucked under the white. I think that one would be the easiest way to put it, because if you put this up on dimensionals, you can just pop that underneath. Hello, Carol. So that's what my thinking was. And then I have actually brought a little bit of coral there, so you can have even a splash of Calypso coral there as well, perhaps on the green or something like that. That's my thinking. Now, if we did that, would we then need the ribbon behind? So if anybody's out there and listening, What do you think? Should we just leave it with the ribbon, or should we do it all? Or so that's the cinnamon cider, and this is the old olive. So I would have this done in a circle. Yeah, I'd do that in a circle. Now that's what I was supposed to do. Have one oval and one circle. That's what I was supposed to do. But I can do that in a moment. So that's the sort of thing I was thinking. So what do you think? Has anybody got any thoughts? You like the circle, or do you like the oval? Or would you like the oval in old olive? I've got lots of old olive here as well, so we could change that up to old olive if you think the olive green is the way to go. I personally think there's just too much green there, so that's why I wasn't going to go that way. Or the other thing we could do is just have a white. We could go all white. I actually quite like that. What do you think? No, I didn't think about having white, but we could. We could have white on white. I'm liking that. White on white. Let me just get the other oval so I could cut a larger white. Yes, I like that. White on white. I think we might go with that. That does brighten it up even more, doesn't it? So there we go. That's the white. I am liking that. Cinnamon cider, no ribbon. Okay. Right. That's it then. Cinnamon cider, no ribbon. So then we can adhere this one to here. Whoops. Now make sure we get the right one. That's a smudgy one, so we don't want that. Where's my glue gone? Underneath my paper. Right, so this one on here. It's a really nice, straightforward card, this is. And you can do this technique with any card, any pattern paper that's got a sort of design. It doesn't have to be pictorial. You can have something that's got geometric designs on and it would look just as good. Got a little bit of a mark on the bottom there. I'm all for marking my papers today, aren't I? So there we go. So that's that, and we want some dimensionals for that now. So here we go. We'll put 2 on here. Oh, hello, Anita. That's nice of you to join. Put that on the side. Oops, something's going on over there. Oh, it's a landslide happening on my tool rack. Right, so middle for diddle. So there we go. So that's in the middle of the card. I hope you're getting all of this. There we are. Spot the deliberate mistake. You're not supposed to glue that down. It's supposed to be free. You're only supposed to attach this side of the sentiment. Note to self, please concentrate. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. So that's how it should open, like that. And now we'll put the extra elements in. So I'm just going to trim these off because we don't need all of these. And my thought was that we could tuck this one sort of down here somewhere. And this one going, whoops, back up there. Something like that, maybe. And then we've got a little bit of Calypso coral just in there. It's a shame I stuck that down because that could have gone in there, but never mind. Got a mark on my coral as well. What's going on tonight? Right, that's almost come off. I think we're going to have to leave it there or else we'll be tearing the paper. You can't see it. So, this is the thought. One there, and this little one just tucked in there. What do you think? Do you think that's enough? Alberta, oh wow. Well, greetings Anita, thank you so much for joining me. That is really lovely. I haven't had anybody from overseas join me, so you're the very first overseas, can you say that? Overseas person to join me. That is really lovely. Thank you so much. Right, so do you think that is okay? I rather like that. I think it just gives a different dimension to the card. I don't think the coral is needed. I think that would be a little bit overkill because we want the papers to stand out. I mean, you could put the coral down here if you wanted to, but I like this blank space, and I think it's right that we don't have the ribbon there too. It just allows the paper to take all the attention. So let me quickly glue this down, and what I'm going to do is just to put some glue down on this part here because this is going to be the back, and we're going to slide that under here. Let's take that other out, slide this under here, and then we can get it where we want it and then press down. There we go. And there's no glue on the side. Oh, yeah, just a little bit of glue. Let's take that off. Yep, that's my sponge. Take that off and take that little bit of glue off. Yeah, should have paid attention again, you see. Yeah, no more. I agree, Carol. We don't want to overload it. We want the papers to stand out. So that's that one. And then again, this one is going to be glued at the back as well because we're adhering that to the card. So we can pop him underneath there, just press down, and that can go up on the other direction, different direction. Let's make sure that that's solid. I tell you what, the other thing we can do is just squeeze in here and just put a tiny little bit of glue on there so that that sticks to the sentiment and it doesn't sort of flop about, because it looked like it was flopping about. Oh, that's a bit more stable. Look at that. Yeah, a lot more stable. Perhaps another bit up here. Oh, it's too much glue coming out of this. There we are. So, there we are. And I'm going to put that over there again just to take off the excess glue. That's a sponge I keep especially for my adhesive, because when you cut very tiny pieces, you can put your adhesive onto your craft mat and then use your sponge to pick up the adhesive and then dab it on letters and things like that, and things like this that are very delicate and you can't actually get glue onto because it just goes everywhere. So that's a very handy thing to have. I've normally got a dish for that, but the dish has gone missing, so I don't quite know where that's gone. So let's pop the coral in, because that's another splash of colour and it echoes the colour that is at the bottom of the picture. So pop that in there. Oh, I think that's looking good. I love that. Really nice. Yep, like that. Right, because we're not putting the ribbon on, we can now put this other piece in here. So glue on the back. Just a little, very, very little. And just trying to leave that gap all the way round again. There we are. And then when the card stands up on the mantel shelf, I don't know whether you get the feeling there that you can actually see the picture. If that stands up on the mantel shelf, you can actually see the whole of the picture. Right. Now let's get our whale in here. Oh, we were going to put garden green. Oh, well, never mind. Doesn't matter now. Right, so the next piece you want is a piece of cardstock, which is 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. Now, this is 1/2 inch. It's the bit that I had left over, but 1/2 inch will do, but you really should have 3 inches. You should have 3/4 of an inch, really. So 2 inches, and then you score it at every 1/2 inch. Okay, and then you make just a little box. You put glue on one side, and then you match it with the other, one of the other sides, and that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for a box. Okay, now this box is going to be stuck down. Now this is the end that I've stuck down. Okay, so you can see the join is here, and what I want to do is to put this in the fold, the main fold of the card. So that's coming up here and it's going right against that fold. Okay, just hold it there for a second, and then what I'm going to do is to put glue on the other side that matches this side. So once that's glued, lift the card up and then put it around this way so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the bit that I've stuck. So lift the card up and then glue this bit down here. And then you've got to be able to shut the card. So there we are. So we'll just leave that for another second just to make sure that that is there. And this is what we're going to adhere our lovely whale onto. Look at that. Now you can have him up here so that you can't see the box. But you must have him at a position where you can actually, it's no good putting him here. If you put him here, it's lovely when it's open, but then when you come to close it, the tail, you can't close it because the tail's there. So you either stick him with the tail right there, or you or you try and pop him, there we go, that's come off. Let's just re-stick that, just put it down again, re-stick it. Having a little bit of trouble with my glue. That's not right. I know when it gets hot, the glue gets runny, but I wouldn't have said it's hot today. So I don't know why that's happening. But yeah, so I'm just going to leave that a second again, just to get that to stick. And we want that a good stick, a good adhering there. So can you see that now, where your whale can go? You can have him here as if he's diving, or just on his tail. I quite like him there. And then it will go down. So we want a glue dot just about here. So here we go. Yeah, there's my pokey tool. Let's have a glue dot on the side here. And then pop him on there. Yep, I think that should come down a little bit. Put it up too high. Just move him down a bit. God, they are sticky, aren't they? There we go. Now we have to make sure we can close the card. Is he going to close? Yay. There we go. So give him another rub. There. So there's our whale. There we are. So that's how your card closes, and that's how he opens up. And he's sitting on the mantel shelf like that. You've got a little 3D element there. And then you can put another sentiment here if you wish. I tend to leave the sentiments. I don't normally put one inside cards unless it's like a sentiment on the outside that needs an answer on the inside, if you know what I mean. So there's our card for today. I hope you like it. As I said, if you're interested in any of the papers, please message me. There is a 15% sale on at the moment. So if you'd like any of those, then please message me. This set of papers are in the 15, not all of them in the Stampin' Up catalogue are in the sale, but these are, and they are adorable. We did go through them at the beginning of the evening, but there's a quick shifty through them if you want to see them again. And they are currently £9.14 instead of £10.75, and you get 48. These are 6x6, and you get 48 of them. 12 designs, which I've just shown you, and you get 4 of each design. And there's lots of other designs that are in the sale. So if you're interested in that and you'd like some pattern paper, a little bit different, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I do appreciate you spending time with me. And look forward to seeing you at 12 noon on Friday, which is my next live. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a go at the card, perhaps with a different pattern paper. If you do, take a photo, post it on the Babs's Card Making and Crafting, and say what papers you've used, and maybe you'll inspire somebody else. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely evening. Good night all. Thanks again. Bye.